Alright guys, I'm gonna log in and show y'all what I figured out. I don't know if anyone's posted any of this online or not yet, but essentially I'm not a Path of Exile expert, alright? I played the original Diablos way back in the day, and then I played a game called Guild Wars 1, which honestly I didn't really think of it as an ARPG, but I realized there was actually games that I liked playing that were like this after playing Path of Exiles 2 a little bit, and I just forgot about him, I suppose. In any case, there's a streamer for Path of Exiles 2 that was trying to figure out how to make unlimited zombies or whatever without using corpses. I don't know, a few weeks ago. I don't know if they ever found the solution, but basically I came up with something when I was playing. My idea essentially was that zombies were blue, like the empowered zombies were blue. So, I'm very color specific and things. So I was going to make a lightning mage that used zombies for like a body shield. And it led me down a road to where basically you can use pin or electrocution. So there is a couple of different ways to actually do this. This game's just taking a while to load. Essentially, there's basic trait to use. My computer doesn't run the game very well for some reason now. So you got raised zombie. We're doing effect duration, so you can put anything else in here if you want, though. What's gonna happen is I'm using a Titan Necromancer, but you can use the Occultist would probably be better for this build. I'm altering the build that I was using, but it comes down to Combat Frenzy. So potentially maybe there's an item or something that can do this for you, but I don't know any of the items. I don't use the trade thing. But while active, grants you a frenzy charge when you freeze, electrocute, or pin an enemy. This can only occur once every few seconds. Now, the seconds is 2.47, which isn't really that big of a deal. Maybe that gets better. I don't really know, actually. Maybe it gets better with skill level. And then you go up into your tree, and you work your way over to this. So getting power charges instead of frenzy charges. And then what you'll have is you could use skeletal snipers if you want. You can use the lightning mage if you want. You could use the other skeleton, the frost mage. So essentially, the necromancer gets access to a number of different build options that you could use, but you need to be able to time when things get frozen or electrocuted or pinned. So for me, I'm using warrior necros, or warrior skeletons, right? And my build did have more warriors in the past. All right, I kind of slimmed down my warriors to get better gear, and I'm still working on better gear. But I have supports any skills that hits enemies, allowing its physical damage to pin enemies but make it unable to stun. So any physical damage that these guys do turns into pin damage. All right, and then I had lockdown on this before, which is like if anyone's within 2 meters of you, does 120% more pin buildup, which made it to where these guys were really good. When I had more of them, they were really good at peeling people off of me and not letting anyone through to hit me, which is what I was looking for, right? This is basically my first defensive wall. Alright, and then you can see with these dead bodies, we have... Okay. With these dead bodies, we have... where is it? 25% chance not to be destroyed when consuming a corpse. Alright, so that's a big one. And then in our passive tree, we are having 15% chance, 5%, and 5%, so maybe a 50% chance not to destroy corpses when we actually use them. So all of our corpses, we could be using this on the zombie and then just summoning zombies off of the corpses, which might be the best way to do it. But we're also going for sheer numbers on this build, so you're able to sit here and usually summon a good number of these things. But essentially you want to like line this up and then hit and time your pin. And then you get these power charges and you can just summon a zombie with E. And then we have a 30% chance not to use our charge when we use a zombie, so we're still got our charge. But if I right click while having more power charges, it empowers this ranged ability that I'm using. So you can see right here we got 2 charges, because also we have on our combat frenzy, support skills have 50% chance to grant an additional charge. So if we pin 1, we can potentially get 2. It's pretty good. But this allows you to have a pretty interesting way to get zombies and also do a lot more. I think I noticed something here. Yeah, that is what's happening. Interesting. %, of your max life from a nearby minion on use to deal 40% more damage. Interesting indeed. But yeah, there's a number of combinations that you can use. Now for me, Bone Cage is defensive, and then we have Bone Storm, which we are getting 25% increased critical hit chance for each second up to 100%. So basically we just, charging up this skill, you're going to be able to get a good percentage. And then also, this skill is good for doing this, so you can control your minions from range. Without having to actually walk up to things, which keeps you safe. And then you have the wall, which right now we have this double layered. I'm a little split on double layer versus single layer, but leveling up your necromancer early, this is very useful because you can block off all these paths, and then if you can control your zombies and your stuff, you just send them in front of you, block off the path, and then you can summon your zombies behind them. So it's pretty useful. And usually in the past, I would have this skill effect duration put onto the skill wall most of the time. But this does make it to where the zombies are a little bit less consistent. And also, if you use this ring, you can't reach with this bone spike. But if you use the base shield wall, it's flat. And then you can use this bone spike through the wall to hit targets on the other side and pin them, which is nice. But that's essentially what you're doing. And then ideally what I'm doing here is that I was using a lot of chaos damage to do most of my AoE and kill mobs of enemies really quickly, so I was using like Despair and the Chaos Totem and Contagion and stuff as like basically a bonus to my minions' damage, because it would spread and then you could infect a minion with it and they could keep using it, so it's basically excess damage. And this build looks like it's going to allow you to use chaos damage if you want, but you don't have to, because there's a number of routes. This one right here is going to give you a ton of chaos damage, like 100% extra chaos damage here. And then there's another one over here that gives you a ton of chaos damage. So that would both be pretty good. But if you wanted to do any of this other stuff, you could. Ideally, my original plan was to have all of this for Wither, which would give me even more stuff. And then I wasn't going to go this far in this direction to make zombies. I wanted to come down this line and get the extra damage nodes down here to make it worthwhile for running a warrior. And I might still try and do that at some point, but I think we're going to need a lot of points to do that. We're already going to need, you know, all of these. This is going to take like 2 extra points to get around here. And then you'd need... There's also this that you can grab. Allies regenerate 1% of your max life per second, which could be pretty big. So we would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So I need like 25 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I don't know if we'll be able to get that or not. If we got rid of all of this corpse stuff, I mean, this would be another 5 or 6 that we could get rid of here. And then we'd have 5 or so that we could get there. It's hard to say if we want the extra damage or not. I think it would be pretty nice though. But yeah, ideally when I first started, my plan was to go down there and grab those nodes and have more damage nodes, or make up for having less damage nodes in the occultist. But with this path, it would probably just be better to run an occultist. I just didn't want a female necromancer, so not a bad little build. Basically, you just come over here, you send out your minions, you pin some stuff, you set up your walls, and then you just summon your zombies. But you can see you can get a ton of minions. And basically the plan is, once everything's set up, I want to be able to have all of these minions alive and good to go. And then use bone offerings to boost all of their damage up. But right now, this isn't like the craziest boss killing build. Generally, the boss just consists of like running in circles and poisoning things for a period of time, basically. But y'all guys have a good one. Hopefully this helps.